Hello and welcome everybody to 1956. In 1956, the Yankees won the World Series with names on that team like Yogi Berra, Mickey Mantle. Have you heard of these people? Louisville Slugger made baseball bats. Huge Americana Louisville Slugger, let's go. They had a golf division named HB. 1956, this came out. You know, it was the HB brand, which made the Powerbilt brand, which made this iron, okay? And they're lovely. So, let's talk about things that came out in 1956. Jog your memory. I wasn't around, but let's just talk about it. So, The Price is Right game show came out in 1956. Shopping malls were introduced in 1956. Elvis Presley with his Heartbreak Hotel. First, RCA record. Elvis Presley, 1956. So, have those things aged well? Shopping malls are kind of on the decline. Elvis Presley, people still have heard of Elvis Presley. Mickey Mantle, Yogi Berra, still, for a lot of people, a household name. What about HB Powerbilt irons? Let's get this on the review table and have a closer look. So it's easy to recognize the branding here. Powerbilt by the sole here with a lightning bolt painted in yellow. They have a dash dot dash, which is K, kilo. I remember my call sign back in the day when I was a ham radio operator, no longer a ham radio operator. My license expired forever ago. I didn't renew it because why would I? Anyway, I recognize that as the letter K. I don't know why that's there. It is. Registered. And then there's those reg.6990T. I guess that's the model number. I mean, what happened to just Louisville Slugger? Whatever, it's golf. If you look on the sole here, you can actually see it says HB and then the iron number, in this case, the 7 iron. Look at the heel profile here, the toe profile. You can see kind of this weight towards the top, which may or may not affect you too much. This has seen a lot of days. This has stories to tell. If this club could talk, I'm interested to hear all the things that have happened here with this club. Moving up, you can see that the shaft is pinned. There is some knurling right here, purely decorative. It's not like the good old days where they staked it up here. The nicking, that as they called it with hickories. Black ferrule with red, white, and blue, because what else would you represent? That's right, France. All right, so we move up the stepped shaft. This is when steel shafts were, taking over. Had already taken over. 1956, I put this here just to remind me of the year. This grip, I wonder if it came taped or if this is somebody else added that after. Either way, kind of a rubber grip right here. It's a chevron right here. I have no idea if these are original, but that's what was on this one. So that's it. It looks, at address, is there even any offset on this? It looks pretty good at address. Is there even some onset? Hard to say. Either way, let's get this lovely iron out on the range and see what we can do with it. Powerbilt 6990. Powerbilt, this was before they adopted their wingback design, which they kept for decades, it seems like. And so, 50s clubs, they call this, it's not a wingback, they call this bar back because it has this bar muscle right here, which seems kind of high on the face, or high on the club, closer to the top line than the sole. Is that going to decrease spin? I have no idea. So, I will collect a little bit of data here at the end, but that won't be enough to give you a solid answer. Universally, does that decrease spin? So, let's see what we got here. Looking down at it, it's very round and rusty. Toe is rounded, the top line is rounded. It looks okay. It looks like a 50s club. My concern with 50s clubs are center of gravity. They're not always in the middle of the face. But that said, the grip is fossilized. Be sure to have a good glove if you're going to hit some poor grips. All right, let's see what comes out of this 50s Powerbilt. Louisville Slugger, American company. Slightest draw on that. I mean, it felt really solid. Shy of the 150. That'll probably play out on the simulator data as well. But yeah, I mean,
nothing offensive about it. Let's hit one more, and then we'll decide what to do next. Yeah, wow. Felt like I really got a hold of that one, you know? And around the 150. It looked short of the 150, but around it. So now let's try opening the face a little bit. We're going to work the 50s. See if we can do a slight fade here. Let me find a good piece of ground here. So we're thinking out to in thoughts, slightly weaker grip, meaning that the face will be a little bit more open when I'm holding it. All right, let's see what comes out here. Well, that one went more high than fading. Might have had the tiniest bit, probably on camera you'll be able to see better, but that was definitely short of the 150. So as far as 50s irons go, I'm pretty happy with that. You can see there's some contact here towards the center of the face. Maybe Powerbilt put together a good iron here. Yeah, it just feels good. Huh. Anyway, trying to not get out of the way of the tracer. That one might have carried the 150. Anyway, data towards the end. Powerbilt. I'm impressed. Club from the 50s that I would totally not mind playing. Let me know your thoughts and memories, jokes, whatever, about Powerbilt in the comments below.
So one of the real problems with early irons is inconsistency, right? And we've talked about this in several videos, but each video is a standalone video, so we'll talk about it again. When you hit your 5-iron, okay, and the center of gravity, right out of the center, it feels great. And then your 6-iron you hit, and when you hit it out of the center, it feels like you're towing it a little bit because the center of gravity is like way over here by the hosel, heel side, okay? And so you're like, it's inconsistent across the set because these are not made with machine CNCing perfection, all done on AutoCAD with engineers balancing each club perfectly, okay? So for this particular club, it was well centered and it felt, you can see my ball strikes right here, it felt great, okay? Sometimes it feels like, with golf, it feels like you trip over yourself. Okay, I got a recent story. So this happened recently. Okay, you know how when you're mouth washing, you know, so I mouthwash late at night and in the morning. Okay, so I'll brush, floss, and then I'm mouthwashing, and then I really swish it around my mouth quite vigorously, right? And you know how sometimes you can like stick your lower lip out and kind of blow your hair, and it blows your hair out of your eyes. You remember doing that as a kid? You see where I'm going with this. That happened with my mouthwash, where I sprayed myself in my own eye with my mouthwash in my mouth, just into my eye. It's like, come on. That's what it feels like golfing sometimes, where you're like, I am in control. I'm driving this golf club, and it just didn't work at all. You know what I mean? It comes back to bite you. You're just like, come on. So this particular iron is perfectly capable, but across the whole set, are they? And that's a question that I have. But I like this particular iron more than some McGregor irons I've hit from the era. So, you know, everything else in the era, like my preference in the 50s are McGregor Persimmons. That's just my preference. My preference for putter is the McGregor Iron Master putter. Other putters available, Spalding the hollow back, the HB design. Speaking of HB, so then when I play these irons, you know, it depends. I'd really want to go hit the full set and see what works for me. Finding some vintage 50 clubs. If you're building a 50 set, let me know what irons stand out to you so you're not spitting in your own eye with mouthwash, okay? That's what it feels like to me. So, you know what's more important than my opinion about these irons? Your opinion about these irons. Have you hit some old Powerbilts from the 50? This is the model 6990T. There's another one I have that's pretty similar, but we'll talk about that in a future video. Let me know your thoughts and memories, jokes in the comments below. Powerbilt, HB, Louisville Slugger, the 6990 irons. Excited to read your thoughts and memories. As usual, huge shout out to my patrons. Thank you so much for your support. It really means a lot to me. You can also support this channel by visiting my Amazon shop. I am an Amazon associate. I make proceeds from qualifying purchases. Thank you everybody for watching. If you enjoyed this content, please subscribe. Stay tuned for some really light data collection here at the end. I am the vintage golfer.